Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and commissioners and staff, and welcome to the Planning Board regular meeting of June 1st, 2022. Chairwoman Northrop, you may proceed. You're muted. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Sorry, good evening, everyone. Please stand for the flag salute. Okay, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and good evening.
You're muted. Chairwoman Northrop. Thank you.
Sorry, I don't know how this keeps getting muted by itself, but okay. Okay, Commissioners, Planning Board, staff, ladies and gentlemen, as chairwoman of the City of Paterson's Planning Board, I call this meeting of 6/1/22 to order. I hereby state that all the provisions of the State of New Jersey Public Meeting Law have been fully and completely met, that the notice of the provisions required have been properly posted in the Planning Board office and with the City of Paterson clerk, that the public notice and advertisements have been published in the Herald News on 5/8/22 in accordance with the law, and that the copies of such notice and public advertisements are on file in the Planning Board office, as is also the agenda listing the applications to be taken up by the Planning Board at this meeting. The procedures tonight will be in accordance with the rules, regulations, and bylaws as heretofore determined by the Planning Board at its office in the municipal complex in the City of Paterson. Roll call, please. Roll call, please.
I am here. One moment. Commissioner Udine is absent. Commissioner Ahmed.
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Cleaves. Commissioner Fisher.
Present.
I will come back to Commissioner Cleaves. Commissioner Iranzo.
Present.
Commissioner Santana is absent. Commissioner Mar is absent. Commissioner Rowan.
Absent.
Commissioner Figueroa.
Present.
Councilman Kalik is absent. And Chairwoman Northrop.
Present.
You have 4 commissioners, 5 in attendance, 5 in total.
Okay. All right. Notice pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act addressing effective coronavirus measures on the next public meeting, which is this evening, consistent with the coronavirus-related restrictions of Executive Order Number 107, given on Saturday, March 21st, 2020 by Governor Philip D. Murphy. The Planning Board of the City of Paterson will not conduct in-person participation of the public at all future meetings until further notice. However, public participation will be available by means of communication equipment pursuant to NJSA 10:4-8, commencing on April 15, 2020. Though there may potentially be a particular need for a limited number of administrative, technical, or other city personnel to be present in or near the City Council chambers, 3rd floor, City Hall, 155 Market Street, Paterson, New Jersey, in person, participation of the public is prohibited. Nevertheless, for reasons of compliance with the said Executive Order Number 107, public participation will be available by calling 973-321-1579, and the meeting ID is 711-680-001, and I will repeat that later on during the meeting, on the date and the time that the meeting is scheduled to commence. The public may also participate in the meeting by accessing the website of the City of Paterson, www.patersonnj.gov, and following the email link for the meeting, which is www.patersonnj.gov. All right, so this evening, I think there were 2 applications on the agenda, but I believe there's been a correction to this. Ms. Bosbet?
Yes, so 366 to 364 Knickerbocker Avenue is not going to be heard. The attorney did not notify the residents, so they cannot hear this application tonight.
Okay. All right, so are we carrying this? I mean, do we have a date, or we're just gonna wait until he contacts us again?
Yes, we have to wait.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yes, we have to wait. We don't have a date yet.
Okay, good enough. I believe, Madam Secretary, did you say something?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, so the other application is Felix de la Hoz, and Michelle Dominguez, 33-37 Richmond Avenue, Block 1508, Lot 10. Mr. Mariconda, are you representing them this evening?
Yes, I am.
I'm sorry, but I have to stop this meeting at this moment. I must interject and ask Mr. Aquaviva to please, let's do this properly. Mr. Aquaviva, the application of Michael J. Wolf, 358, 360, and 364 Knickerbocker Avenue, Block 7707, Lot 4 and 5, will be carried to a future date to be determined. Am I correct, Mr. Aquaviva? It should be on the record.
I thought that was already put on the record, Madam Secretary.
It was, but I didn't call it out.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you, because even though the planner does say it, I, as the secretary, must make sure that it is on the record as well as myself. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm going to go again. Mr. Mariconda, are you representing this applicant?
Yes, good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Alan Mariconda, 726 Market Street, Paterson, on behalf of the applicant.
Okay, so, the applicant proposes to subdivide the existing 7,500 square foot lot into two lots containing 3,750 square feet each. An existing one-family dwelling will remain on the proposed lot 10.01, and a new three-story one-family dwelling is proposed on lot 10.02. The parcel is located in the R1 residential zone. Variances for lot 10.01 are requested for lot areas as 5,000 square feet is required and 3,750 square feet is proposed. Lot width as 50 feet is required and 3,750 feet is proposed. Front yard setback is 25 feet is required and 24.88 feet is existing. Side yard setbacks is 4 feet is required and 3.95 feet is existing on one side and 10 feet is required on the other side, and 6.91 feet is proposed. Minimum rear yard setback as 20 feet is required and 17.95 feet is existing. Maximum lot coverage as 30% is permitted and 52.04% is proposed. And parking as one of the two required on-street parking spaces is to be located within the front yard setback and is located on the proposed property line, whereas 3 feet of landscape separation from the proposed subdivision line is required. Variance for lot 10.01 are requested for lot area as 5,000 square feet is required and 3,750 square feet is proposed. Lot width as 50 feet is required and 37.50 feet is proposed. Combined side yard setbacks as 14 feet is required and 10 feet is proposed. And number of building stories as 2.5-story dwellings is permitted and 3-story dwelling is proposed. Maximum lot coverage is 30%, as 30% is permitted and 33.3% is proposed. And parking as 4 parking spaces are proposed, 2 in the garage and 2 in the front yard setback, which requires a variance. This is their first appearance, and this requires subdivision approval, site plan approval, and bulk variances. And for the board, let me just reiterate that this is a 2-part approval this evening. Should the board decide to approve this, we would first have to approve the subdivision and then go ahead and approve the site plan. All right, so now that being said, Ms. Barsboo, would you like to give us your review?
Property taxes and surcharges are current. The property survey prepared by GB Engineering LLC dated November 11, 2020 indicates that the parcel is located on the southern side of Richmond Avenue and contains a two-story frame dwelling on the western side of the parcel and a detached garage on the southeast side of the parcel. A macadam driveway provides car access to the existing garage. The existing colonial-style dwelling appears to have been built in the 1950s, and it's in average condition according to the tax assessor's report. The lot has frontage of 75 feet on Richmond Avenue, a reed lot line that also measures 75 feet, and eastern and western side property lines that each measures 100 feet. The parcel has total area of 7,500 square feet or 0.17 acres. City Engineering has provided a one-page minor subdivision and site plan dated March 9, 2020, which indicates the area location map, the existing site plan, the subdivision detail, the proposed site plan, the precast sewage pit, the parking pavement detail, the zoning table, and the general notes. The applicant proposes to subdivide the existing 7,500 square foot parcel into two lots. Proposed lot 10.01 is to contain the existing two-story, one-family dwelling on a 3,750 square foot lot. Proposed lot 10.02 is to contain a new three-story, one-family dwelling with 3 bedrooms on a 3,750 square foot lot. Both proposed lots 10.01 and 10.02 will have a width of 37.5 feet. Each lot requires a lot area variance, as the minimum lot size in the R1 zone is 5,000 square feet and 3,750 square feet is proposed. Also, each proposed lot requires a lot width variance as a minimum lot width of 50 feet is required and 37.5 feet is proposed. According to the proposed site plan, the existing dwelling is to remain on proposed lot 10.01 and requires variances for the front, rear, and side setbacks, as well as the maximum lot coverage and the location of the parking spaces. The existing dwelling on this lot exists at 24.88 feet and 17.95 feet from the front and rear property lines respectively, whereas 25 feet of front setback and 20 feet of rear setback is required. The minimum side yard setback in the R1 zone is 4 feet on one side and 3.95 feet is existing on one side. Also, a setback of 10 feet is required on the other side to provide a required combined setback of 14 feet. This proposal provides 6.91 feet of the setback on the other side and a combined setback of 10.86 feet as a combined side setback. A maximum lot coverage of 30% is required and 52.04% is provided as a result of subdivision. The existing dwelling provides 2 parking spaces, of which one space is to be located within the front yard setback and is located on the proposed property line, whereas 3 feet of landscape separation from the proposed subdivision line is required. No change to the existing building located on proposed lot 10.01 is proposed, except the jog on the left side of the existing building is to be removed to accommodate the subdivision line. Since the existing garage is to be removed, the applicant is proposing a new driveway on the east side of proposed lot 10.01. Proposed lot 10.02 requires a minimum setback of 25 feet from the front property line, 20 feet from the rear property line, and 4 feet of setback on one side. The applicant proposes 25 feet of front yard setback, 29 feet of rear yard setback, and 21 feet of rear setback from the proposed deck, and 4 feet of setback on one side, which all satisfy the city's setback requirements. The applicant is requesting a variances for the following. Combined side setback at 14 feet is required and 10 feet is proposed. Number of the building stories at 2.5 stories is permitted and 3 stories is proposed. Maximum lot coverage of 30% is permitted, and the proposed building covers 33.3% of proposed lot 10.02, and parking at 2 of the proposed 4 parking spaces will be located in the front yard setback. A 20-foot drop curb is proposed for lot 10.02 to provide vehicular access to the proposed parking garage and front yard driveway. The proposed site plan indicates a flood line passing through proposed lot 10.01 and 10.02. Also, the applicant has noted on the site plan that the subject property is located in AE flood zone as per flood insurance rate map dated September 28, 2007. The base flood elevation is indicated at 124.10 feet. The city engineer and the construction official shall determine whether minimum requirements for the elevation of the proposed building and flood-proofing features shall be set for this project and the new building. Michael Romanek has prepared a 2-page architectural plan dated February 14, 2020. Drawing 1 indicates the proposed elevation plan. The front view of the building indicates a 3-story building with a mansard roof measured 30 feet in height. The first floor indicates the garage door and the building's covered entry door. Each of the second and third floors indicates 2 windows. 1 window on the first floor is a bay window. The rear of the building indicates a wooden deck on the second floor with a stairs leading down to the ground, as well as a third floor balcony. The right side elevation indicates 2 single windows for the first floor, a double window for the second floor, and 2 windows for the third floor. The left side elevation plan indicates 2 windows for each of the second through third floors. The building proposes siding and shingles for all of the building's facades. Drawing 2 indicates the floor plan. The ground level and first floor plan indicates a 2-car garage, a covered front entry door, a recreation room, a mechanical unit, 3 recycling bins, and an internal staircase to access the upper floors. The second floor plan indicates an open floor concept with a kitchen, a living and a dining area, a half bathroom, an internal staircase, and an optional deck. The third floor plan indicates 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, and a washer and dryer closet. The proposed single-family dwelling has a total gross floor area of 3,747 square feet. Each proposed lot 10.01 and 10.02 proposes parking in the front yard setback. Since according to the Land Development Ordinance, parking in front yard setback is not permitted, the applicant is seeking a variance to obtain relief from this requirement. Most of the residential dwellings in the neighborhood provide parking on the side and or rear of the building, but some also provide parking in the front yard setback. It shall be the responsibility of the applicant and or the preparer of the plan to obtain a letter from the city engineer indicating that the plans have been satisfactorily reviewed prior to the plans being released to the construction official. If approved, the applicant shall file a subdivision plat in conformity with the map filing law or a deed clearly describing the approved minor subdivision. The chairman and secretary of the planning board shall sign the deed. To avoid the conversion of the recreation room on the first floor to an illegal unit, the applicant shall also indicate in the recorded deed that the proposed building will be occupied by 1 family only, and the building will remain as a 1-family residential unit. This proposal is located in the Hillcrest section of the city, which is almost entirely composed of residential properties that are mainly single-family homes. The surrounding area is predominantly residential dwellings of older 2 and 2.5-story structures. Most of the residential dwellings have off-street parking or detached garages. In conclusion, the applicant estimates the cost of this proposal at approximately $150,000. This is the staff review for this project, Madam Chair.
Thank you for your review. Mr. Mariconda?
thank you again, Madam Chair. We are ready to proceed. We'll be calling, two witnesses, professional witnesses will be just Mr. Romanek, architect planner, and he'll be testifying to GB Associates, site plan subdivision map as well. And the applicant is with us just to confirm our testimony.
All right, please proceed.
Thank you. We call Mr. Romanek.
Please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Say your full name for the record, please.
Yes, Michael Romanek, Romanik. I'm currently registered as an architect and licensed planner. My office is at 291 Crooks Avenue in Paterson.
Yes, and we recognize him as an expert witness. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairlady.
Yes, thank you again. Mr. Romanek's testimony was, as I indicated, will be architectural, planning, and subdivision related. Mr. Romanek, you're fully familiar with the subdivision and site plan renderings of of GB Associates?
Yes, I am.
And, as such, you're gonna be testifying to both your plan and his as well.
That is correct.
Okay, could you give us an overview of the site and proceed then?
Yes, if I can, Madam Chairlady, share the monitor with my drawing.
Yep.
This one will be
Oh,
the,
please do.
yes, thank you. First one will be the site plan drawing. The existing conditions plan, as you can see, as indicated by the board planner, the lot has 75 feet of frontage along Richmond Avenue. The depth is 100. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Well,
I don't know what just happened, but
okay.
I think it might have been a glitch. Just continue, please.
Yes, I hear him fine, everything's okay. Thank you.
Yes, the existing parcel is 7,500 square feet, is indicated, obviously, it's on the west side of Richmond Avenue between Totowa and Union Avenues. There's an existing house on it, as you can see from the existing conditions plan of the single site plan and subdivision drawing. We are proposing to remove the rear left section of the building, which represents approximately 225 square feet. That would also enable us, obviously, to produce the subdivision that we are proposing, where both lots would be subdivided, or the one parcel would be subdivided into two lots. If you look towards the right side diagram, you'll see the subdivision detail, and that simply indicates that the 75 by 100 foot lot will be subdivided into two equal parcels, 37.5 feet wide by 100 feet, having a total of 3,750 square feet. That represents each parcel. Looking at the other diagram, Commissioners, the subdivision and site plan drawing, as you can see, that actually shows the existing structure, the existing home on the right side, which is known as 37 Richmond Avenue. It's also known as the proposed lot 10.01. As you can see there, the house will remain without that section in the back, which is proposed to be removed. And also, as the Madam Chair Lady described, the setbacks and so on, we are deficient with respect to the combined total. We should have 14 feet. As you can see, we have 4 feet that's existing on the right side, and we are proposing 7 feet on the left side for a total of 11 feet. The ordinance does require 14 feet. There are also other variances that have been mentioned by the chair lady as well. If we look to the left of that entire parcel, you'll see the subdivision line and the new structure, which is on the left side, and that's known as 33 Richmond Avenue, which is also known as proposed lot 10.2. There are some variances that are proposed there as well. We do have the required 4-foot setback on the left side. And the south side, I'll just indicate by left and right, and so on, so it makes it easier, but that's the south side. We are proposing a 6-foot setback on the right side. That's a total of 10 feet. We should have 14 feet, so we are deficient with respect to the combined setbacks. We are seeking and requesting a variance as well. The rear setback to the deck that we are proposing in the back is 21 feet. Satisfy the front setback, as you can see on that drawing, Commissioners, of 25 feet, which is the minimum required. We do have a 2-car parking garage, as well as 2 spaces in the front in the driveway. And if I can just refer briefly to the existing house, we are proposing 2 parking spaces there on the left side of the existing
Can
building.
you I don't mean to interrupt, but can you like enlarge that a little bit? It's kind of minuscule.
Okay, we are doing that now, can you see that now?
Yes, it's a little bit better, yes, thank you.
All right, so in essence, as you've already indicated, Madam Chair Lady, and also the board planner indicated, we're subdividing 75 by 100 foot lot into two parcels. The right side will continue as a one-family dwelling with 2 parking spaces. The left side will be a one-family dwelling as well, be 3 stories, but you'll look at the architectural drawing shortly, and you'll see what we've done with the 3rd floor to make it look more of a roof structure. So there are variances that are associated with this. You can also see on that subdivision and site plan, we are providing drainage in the form of a seepage pit, which would pick up all the water from the roof leaders, and that would be going into a seepage pit that we are proposing in the front yard, as shown on that diagram as well. So there are variances. We don't think they're very demanding as far as the ordinance goes. They're, again, combined setbacks. We don't feel they're major. The front setback of the existing building is 24.88 feet. Supposed to have 25 feet. That is a pre-existing condition. The right side indicates at one point the setback is 3.95, and also towards the rear it's 4.10. 4 feet is the minimum required. So there are some variances that we're seeking with respect to also the lot coverage. We do exceed the 30% lot coverage for the right side lot, which is the existing. It's approximately 35% in my calculation, and the proposed structure has a lot coverage of about 33.3%, which again does exceed the 30% lot coverage. Commissioners, that's all I have as far as the presentation of the existing conditions plan. You'll see the subdivision detailed plan as well, and also the plan which shows the proposed structure as well, Mr. Maricondo.
Okay, just like to follow up if I could, Mike, as well. With regard to the height of the buildings, we are within the actual height limitations of the ordinance, is that correct?
Yes, we cannot exceed the dimension of 35 feet, will be no more than 35 feet in height. The ordinance, however, does allow or permit structures that are 2.5 stories, but we are proposing a 3-story structure. And you'll see what we've done with the 3rd floor.
When you get to your architectural plan?
Yes.
Okay.
So there is the height restriction, of course.
Okay. And with respect to parking, did you want to talk about that in connection with your architectural drawings, or how the parking is laid out?
Well, as I mentioned, the new structure will have 4 parking spaces.
Good.
I know there's an ordinance section that deals with parking in the front yard in front of the garage. There's a 2-car garage in the new structure, as well as 2 spaces in the driveway as well. For a one-family house with 3 bedrooms in it that we are proposing, the ordinance requires 2 parking spaces, 2.5 parking spaces. So we are proposing a total of 4 parking spaces, and yes, 2 spaces in the driveway typically do not count, but from a practical standpoint, commissioners, we all know how people park in front of their garages, so we are proposing 4 there. And with respect to the existing structure, there are 2 spaces that are proposed on the left side of the building itself, the existing structure, along the subdivision line. So we feel that that would be adequate for the existing one-family house, and certainly the spaces that we're proposing for the new house, we feel that is also adequate.
Okay. And with respect, again, still, just briefly still on your site plan, in your estimation, then these variances do not create any negative impact on surrounding property owners?
No, we feel it doesn't. Obviously, in the report, and we all know that the Hillcrest area is, in this particular section, is primarily a one-family area. We are maintaining the residential character of that one-family status by proposing what we are.
Okay.
It's a large lot now, 75 by 100 feet.
It's a much larger lot than most of the surrounding lots, right?
Most of the lots are 50 by 100. This is an exception, which has 75 by 100 feet, so it's extremely larger than most.
So, and then the use we're seeking is permitted within the zone?
Yes, the R1 zone allows one-family homes. That is correct.
Okay, so we can proceed to your architectural
Yes,
testimony.
if we look at sheet number 1 of the architectural set of drawings, you'll see, looking at the front elevation, again, it's a one-family house. You'll see what we're proposing fixed on the front elevation, which is the upper right-hand diagram. And again, you see what we did with the roof. We actually created a mansard roof, so we have the 2 stories. We have a 3-story structure, where you can see, commissioners, what we've done done there with respect to the third floor. It's a combination mansard roof structure. As you can see, there are shingles that are proposed as well. The entry into the building is at grade level, as you can see, as the notation indicates, entry door. If you look to the far left of that particular diagram, you'll see the right side elevation. Again, the left part of that where the figure is located, that represents the front of the structure as well. And you can see there's a little portico over the entry area. To the far right, we are proposing an optional deck as well, and we'll look at the size of that succeeding drawing. And also, we want to look at the diagram that's below the right elevation, and that's the left side, which basically reflects what the right side is. Again, the front of the house being on the right side and the deck being on the left side. And now we want to go to the far right of that, and you'll see the rear elevation, which shows again the deck, which has stair access from the grade to the sliding doors of the second floor. Commissioners, and again, you can see we're proposing siding on the house itself. There will be some stone veneer in the front of the building on both sides of the garage entry and entry doors. Looking at sheet number 2, the architectural set, Commissioners, you'll see on the far left of the diagram, you'll see the ground floor level. That's the entry level that you'll be able to walk into the front exterior door. As you can see, there's a 2-car garage as well. Towards the rear, there's a recreation room, which would be used for also accommodating the HVAC system as well as the water heater. We also have recycle bins there for plastics and so on. You can see as you enter the door, you would be going upstairs to the second floor, Commissioners, which is the center diagram of the set of drawings. And it's an open plan, as you can see by the notations. It's a living, dining area, which opens also into the kitchen and breakfast area. Towards the back, where the breakfast area is, the owner wished to have an optional deck. He's not sure whether he's going to build that or not, but you can see the dimensions are 8 feet by 14 feet with stairs leading directly to the ground level. You'll see where the stairs are located, not only to go down to the ground level, but also if you take the stairs upstairs to go to the third floor, which is the diagram to the far right of that sheet itself. And you can see the 3-bedroom layout. The master suite is towards the rear, which does have a balcony that's approximately 3 by 7 feet. There's a master bathroom as well as a large walk-in closet. There are 2 other bathrooms that are on each side of a proposed bathroom. The washer and dryer is also located upstairs as well, as you can see, which joins the stairs going down to the lower levels as well. The area of each floor is approximately 1,249 square feet. It's a one-family house. And again, Commissioners, if you go back to sheet number 1 of the architectural drawings, again, looking at the front elevation, which is right above there, you'll see again, we do realize that the ordinance does allow a maximum of 2.5 stories, and a half story typically means an attic. Here, what we've done was create 3 stories. However, you can see the 2 full stories as far as the ground floor and the second floor, and you can see how we treated the upper level. Again, making it a mansard roof, so it would more or less blend into the architectural character of the neighborhood as well, and also so it doesn't seem to be a large, story, quite honestly. And that's the full story, because you can see there's no large roof above that or attic. There is no attic that you'll be able to walk in. In full essence, that is an 8-foot-high ceiling, but you can see from the dimensions, the top of the roof, or the attic, if you want to call it that, would only be essentially 2.5 to 3 feet. So there's no attic in the structure. You're not going to be able to pull down stairs and go into the attic because we try to keep a low profile, as you can see. And again, we are keeping within the dimension of no more than 35 feet, which is the allowance of the zoning ordinance. And that's essentially a description of the architectural drawings as well, Madam Chair Lady.
Okay, Madam Chair and Commissioners, I would conclude Mr. Romanik's testimony at this time.
I have a question. On one of the previous drawings, I think it was on the actual review, it showed a picture of the original house that's on the property.
Correct.
Okay, can we go back to that, cause I have a question.
I guess it would be on the site plan, Madam Chair?
I think it was, yes.
It's not on the architectural.
On the site plan.
It's not on the site plan, I think that might have been on the staff review, I think there's a photograph. The staff review, Madam Chair Lady, let's see, that
Are you
is,
looking within the review, Madam Chair?
that's the third sheet in the staff report.
And the site plan, the first page also depicts the existence of the house, correct?
Yes,
Yeah, I think I
Madam
just.
Chair, are you talking about the aerial photo from the review?
I'm not sure, I think it was
I
an
think
actual.
Madam Chair is referring to figure 2 in the staff review. Page
Hold on.
3,
Yeah, hold on.
right?
Can everybody
I
just
didn't
hold?
understand that.
Excuse me, can everybody just wait until I sign back on, please, cause I think I got a problem here.
Absolutely, I will speak to IT staff, everyone mute your microphones until the chairwoman recommunicates and connects again, thank you.
I gotta get back in here, there's something wrong now again.
You sound good on my end and I can see you.
Yeah, nobody, but I can't see anybody, so I'm gonna have to,
Okay, thank you.
I think this is gonna echo, and if it does, I have to go back out, so let me see. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go back.
Now you have to go out.
Yep, I'm going out. Out.
And Melinda, can you hear me? Fine.
Yes. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, Madam
Yes,
Chair.
I do, Madam Chair, I do.
This is.
And also, Madam Chair, what we're talking about, I think what you're talking about is page 3 of our review. So I don't know who, if, Ms. Farswood has that, or who can put that up, but it's page.
It doesn't really matter, I wanna ask, somebody will know. There's a little kind of jetting out on the original house of a porch on the, if you're looking face on at that picture, there's like a little side thing jetting out from that, is that what's being
Yeah,
removed?
it's between the house and the garage, it's connected to the actual house, there's actually a door going into it, yes, I'm
Is
looking at it now.
Is that going to be, removed, Mr. Romanek?
You're muted.
Lady, yes, as a matter of fact, on the existing conditions plan, you'll see, yes, now if we can show that, yes, let's see, to the top there, a bit more. Yes, you can see there's no notation on that drawing, and it actually says part of dwelling to be removed, and as I indicated, it's about 225 square feet, so that's going to be removed, that section in the back, that is correct.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that that was the section that was going, okay.
Yes.
So, at this time, I'm going to open it up to our commissioners, and ask if there's anyone of the commissioners that has any questions.
This is Commissioner Figueroa.
Yes, go ahead.
In line with your question with that area, is that where that flood, it's like a flood path is gonna be? In that middle part right there? And also,
Commissioner, can I interrupt you 1 second? Madam Chair, I
Yes,
don't know if maybe I missed the announcement from you, I don't know, but I do see Commissioner Cleaves on the screen now. Was she recognized?
no, I don't see her on the screen, or I would have recognized her.
Okay, I can see her,
Now I see her on the bottom. Okay, so I don't know how, when she actually signed in.
I signed in, probably about a quarter.
Yeah. May I interject here? I
Yes,
am
ma'am.
on my phone. Commissioner Cleaves was on before the last testimony. I couldn't interrupt him. So I was trying to text Mr. Aquaviva. But she has been on for the past 15 minutes, I'd say, at your last testimony.
okay, Commissioner, did you hear, the testimony in this application?
Yes, I did, I heard both of them.
Okay, so based upon that, Madam Chair, I think the board can recognize her as being present at the meeting tonight.
Right, okay, I have no
Thank you
problem.
very much.
So now, let me go back to Commissioner Figueroa, who had a question.
Alright, it was regarding the flood line that passes through that, is that around the area where that section that's gonna be removed? The dwelling, it's gonna go down that same path, right?
Yes, Commissioner, yes. So what we do in a case like this, it's in a flood fringe area. We provide, actually flood vents. Sometimes they're never even used, but they're vents approximately 16 by 24 inches that are located on the lower part towards the floor of the ground floor. So if it ever does flood, the water basically flows through the structure and out, as opposed to building up pressure on the exterior walls. We don't
That's
anticipate that.
important. That's really important in light of the more frequent flooding that we see happening. And I myself was flooded out, so as soon as I saw that, I'm like, and as far as those minimum requirements for the flood-proofing features, that's nothing to do with our board, that's later on. With
Yeah, that is
the
correct.
city officials.
Yeah, the basement is not proposed also, Commissioner. There will be no basement here, of course, and as I said,
Okay,
the flood vents are put in, while in the construction drawings when the structure is built and so on. And certainly the city engineer will be looking at that aspect of it as well.
Right.
So we have to comply fully or else the building cannot be constructed.
And if any state requirements were deemed appropriate by DEP or any other agency, they would also
Yes,
have to be met.
yes, if there's a review process, that would be met, absolutely.
alright, thank you.
Any other questions from any other commissioners?
This is Commissioner Cleaves.
Yes, Commissioner Cleaves, go ahead, please.
It's also in the line of questioning that you were asking. The architect said that the deck on the back upstairs was optional.
Yes, Commissioner, I believe the owner is also present at the hearing tonight. And I was told that they may or may not build it, so we did add the word optional, so that could be answered directly by the owner.
So if they don't build the deck, what's gonna happen to that space?
Nothing. I mean, nothing happens to the space. That's a deck that comes out of the second floor from the breakfast area, and they may or may not build it. So that's why they told me to put the word optional deck there, which means it may be built or maybe not. But nothing would happen, so you'd have space below it. Obviously, this is just not a freestanding deck, but there's no deck above it, and there's nothing below it. So it's just a deck that sticks out 8 feet from the rear exterior wall. And again, as I indicated, Commissioner, the owner is at the hearing tonight and can answer that more directly.
We'll certainly ask him, Commissioner, what his intentions are there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else, Commissioner Cleaves?
That's it.
Okay. Any other commissioners, any questions? Okay, let me ask you, Madam Secretary, any call-ins?
Not at this time, but please hold. If you'd like to proceed, I'll come back.
Okay.
But did you read it into the record? I'm sure you have.
Read what into the record?
The phone number for anyone who's calling in.
Nope, I'll do it again. Let me get the paperwork, hold on. Okay, let me see. Okay, so if anybody has any questions this evening, of either the architect or the owner of the property, okay, please call in at, 973-321-1579. The meeting ID is 711-680-001. I'm gonna give it 2 minutes for call-ins, 3 minutes for questions. Okay, and so while we're doing that, I'm gonna go back to, while we're waiting to see if we have anybody calling in, I'm going to go and ask the commissioners one last time. Any other questions of the applicant? I have a question.
Madam Chair, can you give me that number again, 973?
Yeah, 321-1579.
321 321.
1579.
If you check out the agenda, it is on there.
Yeah,
Chairwoman Northrop, yes, I do, and commissioners, one caller I'm trying to connect.
okay, and I have a question for the owner of the property. Is this other home that's going to be built?
He's not sworn in.
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry, you have to get sworn in, please, go ahead. Swear them in, please. Linda.
Mr. Mariconda, you want your applicant now?
Yes, yeah, we're ready.
Okay, please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Can you please state your full name for the record, please?
Felix de la Hoz Ramirez.
Good evening, Felix. You are one of the owners of the property that's before the board this evening, is that correct?
Yes.
And presently you live with your family in the existing one-family home, which is to remain, is that right?
Correct.
And your intention is to, if this application is approved, to build a new home and to actually reside in the new proposed home because of the more modern amenities and living space that house would afford you, is that the idea?
Correct.
Okay, and then you would retain the second house as a possible rental unit, a rental home?
Correct.
Okay, and you reside, again, you do reside in the city of Paterson. How long have you lived in the city?
On the city, I've been living here for almost 30 years.
Right, and you work in Paterson as well?
Yes, I also have my business in Paterson.
Correct. How long have you been in business here?
For almost 15 years.
Okay, so long-term commitment both ways. Again, this is to be occupied by your family. Someone mentioned the point regarding the deck. I know you asked Mr. Romanek to retain it as an option. Have you made a decision on that yet?
Yes, we're thinking that we're gonna keep that. Yes.
You would like to build a deck and have that part of the approval if it's granted?
Yes, if it's possible.
That's for your family use, of course, right?
Yes.
Okay. And also I wanted to make sure you understood that if this approval was granted, there would be a deed restriction that both houses could only be occupied as one-family dwellings. Is that understood?
Yes, correct.
I think that's all I have, Madam Chair, of the applicant at this time. One final question. You've heard all the testimony and you've also, approved the plans of GB Associates and Mr. Romanek. Are you in full agreement with the plans and the testimony tonight?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Okay, so that kind of answered my question, because I wanted to know who was going to occupy the house, whether it was gonna be for sale or it was gonna be a rental, but okay, that answers my question. So let's see if we have the caller on the line. Madam Secretary, is the caller ready?
One moment, please. Lisa Weiner, can you hear me? Hello, Mrs. Weiner? One moment.
On the corner of the car. Okay.
Miss Weiner, can you hear me? Is she connected?
I don't see her. I don't see anybody on this page with
It takes a few seconds, just give me a
Yep.
second. Thank you so much, Chairwoman, thank you. They're trying to connect her. One moment. It's still in the process. How do you want to proceed, Chairman? Hello?
I'm going, Madam Chair, Madam Secretary, I'm gonna give this another 2 minutes for them to try to connect her. Otherwise, then after that, I will have to move forward. Let's give it another 2 minutes.
I appreciate that. Thank you for your courtesy. Mr. Aquaviva, can you call me, sir? Please, thank you.
Sure.
Chairwoman Northrop? Can you hear me? It's Commissioner Fisher.
Yes, Commissioner Fisher, we all can hear you, yes.
Okay, I wanted to ask, Madam Secretary, do you have the number of the person so we can call them back? So we don't have to wait so long?
I think she's off the line, still trying to get them connected.
Okay, all right.
I don't know what that is, maybe that's them trying to get in. Okie dokie then, what is that?
Mr. Aquaviva and Chairwoman Northrop and Commissioners, we're trying to connect her. If you wish to proceed, how long it takes, I have no idea, but when you're working in virtual, it's difficult, so.
I understand that, I'm gonna give it a few more minutes because it's only fair that if there's somebody, if we have an objector on the line, I'd like to hear from them. However, we're not gonna wait all night, so we're gonna give it a few more minutes, let's give it our best college try here.
Thank you.
And Madam Chair, you can, you can call out time however you want. It's up to you. It's
Yeah,
discretionary.
I already gave them an additional 2 minutes, I'm gonna give them till 7:35, it's 7:33, I'm gonna give them another few minutes because it doesn't take 5 minutes to connect, so I and I think it's only one objector, so I don't know, I'm sure this went out to a lot of people in the neighborhood, but I'd like to at least hear from them, so.
That's reasonable, and just for the record, and looking at my time, you've already been waiting 5 minutes, so.
Okay, I understand, but I just received a call, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but apparently there is a technical issue, but it's not with the lady. It is trying to connect her onto the site, so it is a problem in-house. So if you could give me just a couple minutes, I'd appreciate it.
Well, let me ask you something, Commissioner Fisher made a point, is there any way we can contact her?
I can't do that because it's IT, and they have to put her on.
Okay.
I mean, I could call her, but she's on my cell, you can't hear her.
No, that's true, okay, so
But
let's,
because, she's calling in, it's really hard when we can't do that, so.
I'm
Trust
gonna give it a few more minutes because I'm gonna hope it clears up.
few more seconds. I think you should proceed. Seems like it's a little more difficult than I thought.
If it's a little more difficult, then I'm gonna have to move forward, and to proceed, Now, I'm just gonna like wrap it up because, we've already sworn in the applicant, we've already heard from the architect, and I've already asked, and I'll go one more time and ask, is there any more questions, okay, from the commissioners? Of either the applicant or the architect? Okay, I don't hear any. So, at this point then, I'm gonna ask Mr. Maricondo to summarize.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. What we'd like to do is just indicate again to the board that this is an application to develop, a one-family residential dwelling in a one-family zone. The parcel which we're subdividing is much larger than the standard lot in the R1 zone. And the proposed lots of 3,750 square feet are very substantial and not far off from most of the surrounding, dwelling, lots in the area. These are designed to be one-family dwellings existing and proposed. The applicant is a longtime Paterson resident and businessman who intends to reside in the new house with his family. So this is a long-term commitment, not just an investment. Again, Mr. Romanek has detailed all the variances. They are relatively minimal in our opinion. They don't create negative impact. The design of the house conforms to the streetscape of this area. We are within the height requirements. This house will simply not stand out in terms of height along the streetscape. We provide substantial parking on site for both homes, existing and new. And again, we're very close in terms of lot coverage. Very conforming to the character and integrity of the R1 zone. That's why we have brought this application. We believe it's a good opportunity for a longtime Paterson resident and business person to have a long-term commitment with a new house and to provide quality housing on the existing house once he moves next door. So this is really a family application. Thank you.
Would any, commissioner like to make a motion on this application?
Madam Chair,
Well,
before.
we have two. It'll be a
Yeah.
twofold thing, first for the subdivision.
Right, but I also wanted to point out that as far as conditions go, there would be a deed restriction to be filed, which limits both the existing home and the proposed home to one-family homes, if such a motion is made.
That is correct. Okay, so do we have anyone who would like to make a motion on the subdivision first?
Commissioner Figueroa.
Okay, please go ahead, Commissioner Figueroa.
Alright, so bear with me. So I'm gonna do the subdivision first, right?
Yes.
Okay, alright, so on the application of Felix De La Hoz and Michelle Dominguez, 33-37 Richmond Avenue in Paterson, New Jersey, 07502. For the property located at 33-37 Richmond Avenue, block 1508, lot 10. I move that the board attorney prepare a resolution granting subdivision, minor subdivision approval, I'm sorry.
Do I have a second? Commissioner Lorenzo, I see his hand up, yes, and he's saying he seconds it. Okay, roll call, please. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
I understand, thank you, but before I proceed, Mr. Aguirre, do we have one vote for both or individual?
No, we're just voting on the minor subdivision right now.
Thank you, that's what I was asking. Okay, Chairwoman, you may proceed.
No, you may proceed, do the roll
Okay.
call, please.
Thank you. Who was the second?
Commissioner Lorenzo.
Thank you. Commissioners, Commissioner Ahmed,
Yes.
Commissioner Cleaves,
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher,
No.
no, Commissioner Iranzo,
Yes.
Commissioner Figueroa,
Yes.
and Chairwoman Northrop.
Yes.
You have 5 in the affirmative and 1 no vote. This application has been granted.
Now, do I have a motion, on the application, for the site plan?
Again, Madam Chair, because, the deed runs with the land, it would a condition on the minor subdivision, but, it would also be a condition on the site plan of both variances as well.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay. So I was gonna mention it with the other one, though.
So, you gonna make the motion on the site plan?
Yes, I would like to.
Go ahead.
Madam Chair, thank you. So, on the application of Felix de la Rosa and Michelle Dominguez, 33-37 Richmond Avenue, Paterson, New Jersey, 07502, for the property located at 33-37 Richmond Avenue, block 1508, lot 10. I move that the board attorney prepare a resolution granting the following: site plan approval, bulk variances, city engineer, Hudson Essex Passaic Soil Conservation Service, and the deed restriction limiting the property to one family structure.
Just for clarification.
One affair, okay, go, yes.
Just for clarification, the limitation would be on the one family limitation would be on the existing home and the proposed new home.
Property, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts.
second.
Second by Commissioner Lorenzo, roll call please.
Commissioners, Commissioner Ahmed,
Yes.
Commissioner Cleaves,
Yes.
Commissioner Fisher,
Yes.
Commissioner Iranzo,
Yes.
Commissioner Figueroa,
Yes,
and Chairwoman Northrup.
Yes.
You have 3 votes in the affirmative. This application for bulk and site plan has been granted.
Mr. Alkabib, I think
Congratulations.
it's 6 votes in the affirmative.
I thought I said 6.
You said 3.
I believe you said 3.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I heard 6 too. Yeah, it's 6 in the affirmative, 0
I
negative.
said 6. I apologize for that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
We have,
Bless you all.
commissioners, we can release the applicant, but commissioners, we have additional work to do. We have some resolutions. So. You
We
can
do?
go, yes, you can go.
Okay, I'm just bringing.
No, I'm telling, no, I'm
I have to
telling
go
Mr.
to, I have to go to,
Telehose.
I have to
Mr.
go to.
Telehose, you can go off.
Okay.
Bear
Let
with
me
me a
first get
second.
rid of-
Bear with me a
Okay, thank
second,
you.
I have to go to another screen, please.
Okay.
Okay, as far as does it matter what order we go in, or I'll just take them as I have them?
Yes, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Madam Chair, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. On the application of Fifth Avenue Millwork LLC for the property located at 185 Fifth Avenue, Block 2104, Lot 1. The property being located in the R3 High Medium Density Residential District. The applicant sought site plan approval on both variances to construct a partial second-story addition above the existing cabinet manufacturing building, a 1-story and 2-story addition to the east and northeast side of the existing building, and a surface parking lot with 3 parking spaces on the east side of the parcel. The board considered and voted to approve this matter on April 6, 2022. Do I have a motion? And Madam Secretary, I'm just looking at we have Commissioners Northrup, Figueroa, and Lorenzo can vote on this application, Madam
And
Secretary.
I have the entire, before anyone does so, I'm trying to look as well as you. Can you tell me how many commissioners are in
Sure,
this
we have,
application?
yes, we have 5 commissioners, Chairwoman Northrup,
Right,
Commissioner Amar, who is not here,
right.
Commissioner Figueroa, Commissioner Lorenzo, and Commissioner Santana, who is not here. So it would be
Thank you.
Northrup, Figueroa, and Lorenzo.
Thank
So
you.
moved.
second,
Second by Commissioner Figueroa. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Iranzo, your vote.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Figueroa
yes.
and Chairwoman Northrup.
Yes.
This resolution has been adopted.
Okay, bear with me 1 second, because my computer is deciding to take a fit. So let's see, let me wait for this to come up on the screen.
Mr. Aquaviva,
Yes.
Mr. Fisher, I don't think I'm on any of these applications, am I correct?
Commissioner, I believe you are, but unfortunately, unless I get the application the resolution in front of me, I can't confirm that.
Thank you.
Okay.
For some reason, my computer is not.
I think it's the inclement weather, but I don't believe that he was, I don't believe he was here, Commissioner Fisher.
I understand that, but Commissioner Fisher, would you mind for me just staying on till we're done?
No, I just asked the question, I wasn't hanging up.
Oh, okay, well then listen, I love that, thank you.
Yeah, Madam Secretary, let's go in reverse before I read this application, just so it makes it easier for you. Again, Chairwoman Northrup, Commissioner Cleaves, and Commissioner Lorenzo are eligible to vote on the resolution I'm about to read. So, excuse me, on the application of JCM Investors 1012 LLC for the property located at 273-275 Governor Street, Block 3209, Lot 14. The property being located in the RA2 district of the 4th Ward redevelopment plan. The applicant sought site plan approval and bulk variances to remove the existing 1.5-story frame dwelling on a lot having an area of 5,000 square feet and to construct an 11-unit residential building consisting of 3 stories located on the northwest corner of Jelsma Place and Governor Street. The board considered and voted to approve this matter at its March 30th, 2022 special meeting. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second,
Madam Secretary?
I'm here, sir, looking at the resolution, did you want me to check it?
If you would like to do that, that's fine. I thought I gave you the 3 commissioners who could vote.
Okay. One moment, the date of the meeting I need to see because
Oh, so you're muted.
I'm not
You're
muted.
muted, Madam Chair.
Yeah, but I'm not muted, am I?
You're not, I can hear you.
Alright,
It said it's muted.
thank you. I have them in a different format, so when I wanna fix it, I don't see it, so I apologize to everyone. The only thing that I need, Mr. Aquaviva, is the date of this meeting, so I can write it down, please.
It was a special meeting, March 30th, 2022.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the first motion is Liranzo, and seconded by Figueroa.
No, on this application, the motion was made by Chairwoman Northrup, and it was seconded by Santana, who is not here tonight.
No, it was motion by Liranzo, second by Cleese for the resolution.
I was getting there, everyone, but Emilinda's always way smarter than me.
I'll defer to Melinda.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to get the info. One moment. 273, 275 Governor.
Yes.
Okay, North.
No.
Yeah, that's the one you read. The one that.
Yes, you're right, Madam Chair. I'm sorry, Madam Secretary, yes.
Liranzo first, seconded by Santana. Motion is as follows. Northrop, Cleaves, Liranzo, Santana, and Lamar.
But we are only doing this tonight to approve the resolution. So Lorenzo made the motion to approve this resolution. Yvette Figueroa, no, who was it?
No, Figueroa
me.
first.
Please, Commissioner Cleese seconded. Now we're into roll call, please.
Thank you. Commissioners, Commissioner Cleaves,
yes.
Commissioner Liranzo,
Yes.
Figueroa, Commissioner Figueroa.
I wasn't part of that meeting.
Northrop, the chairwoman.
Third woman.
If I could just look at my notes again. Cleaves, Liranzo, Santana, Omar, and Chairwoman Northrop.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, my apologies, I was actually looking at this resolution I'm about to read, that's why I have the wrong commissioners. On the application of Paterson Falls Realty Group LLC for the properties located at 285-287 Fulton Place and 270-272 Lawrence Place, Block 3206, lots 16 and 17. The property being located in the RA2 zone of the Fourth Ward redevelopment plan. The applicant sought site plan approval and bulk variances to remove the existing structures on the lots, having combined the area of 6,808 square feet, and to construct a new 4-story residential building with a total of 18 units. The board considered and voted to approve this matter at its March 30th, 2022 special meeting. Madam Secretary, the motion, I have it as the motion being made by Chairwoman Northrup, seconded by Commissioner Santana, who is not here, and
I suggest we hurry this along because there's all kinds of thunder and lightning. We're liable to lose our whole system here. So,
You're all at home, so we're good. Please
well,
proceed.
I'm not. So,
well, we have Chairwoman Northup who made the motion,
I'm
Commissioner
making it
Santana.
now. Motion made.
Please, I am losing my chain of thought. Mr. Aquaviva, on this application, you called the first and second motion. I need you to repeat it.
Commissioner Northup made the motion to approve. Commissioner Santana seconded it, who was not here. Commissioner Cleaves and Commissioner Lorenzo were eligible to vote. Commissioner Amar was also there, but she's not present tonight. So it's Chairwoman Northup, Commissioner Cleaves, and Commissioner Lorenzo.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lorenzo. Roll call?
Commissioners, Commissioner Iranzo,
Yes.
and Chairwoman Northup.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're just waiting for this resolution to load up. We're trying to take this to the finish line here, but there we go. Okay, on the application of Ali Zidane for the property located at 246-248 Fifth Avenue, lot 2112, lot 10. The property being located in the R3 high medium density residential district.
Mr. Aquaviva, there's someone on, I don't hear you. So whoever's on, mute your mic. I can't hear you.
You didn't get Commissioner Cleave's vote on the last, resolution.
Okay,
So I'm going to start this resolution over again.
in all reality, I never finished it because I couldn't get to the bottom of it, but it's up to a commissioner to stop a meeting and say she was there, so I have to check. So please read the address that the commissioner is asking about, so I can check the vote, please.
I'm not sure what I'm being asked. I'm about to
The
read
other resolution that was adopted, Commissioner Cleaves is stating that she was present. So just.
And I said she was. I said that she was eligible to vote. This was on 285-287 Fulton Place.
Iranzo, I see your head shaking, take a pill.
Oh,
This
wait a
is
minute.
I did not.
Hold on,
I
please.
did not.
Hold on, please. Okay? I'm reading the resolutions. Let me try to get some control here, okay?
Oh, wait a minute, can I
The
say
resolution-
something?
The resolution that we're referring to is Paterson Falls Realty Group for the property located at 285-287 Fulton Place and 270-272 Lawrence Place. That application was heard at the special meeting on March 30th, 2022. The commissioners who can vote on that application were Chairwoman Northup, who made the motion, Commissioner Cleaves, and Commissioner Lorenzo. The other two commissioners that were there, Commissioner Amar and Commissioner Santana, are not here tonight. So Chairwoman Northup, Commissioner Cleaves, and Commissioner Lorenzo should be
And I
voting
want to
on
say
that
that
application.
I actually made the motion, Commissioner Lorenzo made the second, we voted, but unfortunately, they did not hear Commissioner Cleave's vote.
Because she was not called for the vote, only two people were called. That's all, she just wants to vote on it.
That's correct. This is why I'm trying to explain that I didn't hear the previous vote. Try to fix it, but it was late. The only way that I can do this is this way. Mr. Acquaviva, will you please repeat the resolution and let's do the vote? It will supersede the prior vote.
Hold on. On the application of Paterson Falls Realty Group for the property located at 285-287 Fulton Place and 270-272 Lawrence Place, Block 3206, lots 16 and 17. The property being located in the RA2 zone of the 4th Ward redevelopment plan. The applicant sought site plan approval and bulk variances to remove the existing structures on the lots, having a combined area of 6,808 square feet, and to construct a new 4-story residential unit with a total of 18 units. The board considered and voted to approve this matter at its March 30th, 2022 special meeting. Do I have a motion?
Yes, so moved.
I second.
Second by Commissioner Lorenzo. Roll call, please.
It'd be safer if Mr. Acquaviva could call the vote. Please.
All right, please, let's just get.
Hold on.
I don't have, I'm lost.
All right.
Okay, please, please.
Chairwoman Northrup,
Yes.
First motion,
Chairwoman Northrup, you made the motion,
Yes.
correct?
I made the motion.
Who seconded it?
Commissioner Lorenzo.
Okay. On the vote, Chairwoman Northrup,
Yes.
Commissioner Lorenzo,
Yes.
Commissioner Cleves.
Yes.
Okay, this resolution has been approved. All right, back to, on the application of Ali Zidane for the property located at 246-248 Fifth Avenue, Block 2112, Lot 10. The property being located in the R3 High Medium Density Residential District. The applicant sought site plan approval and bulk variances on a new second-story addition to the existing one-story retail area. The existing basement level includes 2 bathrooms and storage utility areas. And the first floor contains an existing restaurant and grocery store, which will remain unchanged. The second floor proposes 2 one-bedroom units and a rear covered porch. The board considered and voted to approve this application at its April 6, 2022 regular meeting. Before I call for a motion, Chairwoman Northrup was present that evening. Commissioner Figueroa was present at that meeting. Commissioner Lorenzo was present at that meeting. Commissioner Lorenzo made the motion. Commissioner Figueroa seconded it. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion right now, and second by Commissioner Lorenzo. Roll call.
Chairwoman Northrup?
Yes.
I did not hear, they don't supposed to vote, may you repeat?
I didn't call his vote yet. Commissioner
Oh,
Lorenzo?
sorry. I apologize, I'm sorry.
Commissioner Lorenzo?
Lisa. Good.
Commissioner Lorenzo?
Yes.
Commissioner Figueroa?
Yes.
Okay. One more. We're getting there. Barely. On the application of People's Capital Group LLC for the property located at 64 Pearl Street, Block 4316, Lot 3, the property being located in the RA2 zone of the 5th Ward redevelopment plan. The applicant is seeking site plan approval and both variances on a vacant 1,401.48 square foot lot. The applicant proposed to construct a new 3-story residential building with a total of 2 residential units. The board considered and voted to approve this matter at its April 6, 2022 meeting. The commissioners who may vote on this resolution tonight are Chairwoman Northrup, excuse me, Commissioner Lorenzo, and Commissioner Figueroa. Do I have a motion?
So move.
So moved and second?
That was seconded by who, I'm sorry? Figueroa?
No, second by me, Commissioner.
Chairwoman Northrup? Okay, Commissioner Lorenzo?
Yes.
Commissioner Figueroa?
Yes.
And Chairwoman Northrup?
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. Got through it, good, before we all lost our power. Now, the next thing is, when are we meeting again, as far as food?
I'll take this one.
Okay,
We have a special meeting, on Monday, June 6th at 6:30, one application. You'll get the information
1/6.
tomorrow.
Okay, alright, good. Alright, everyone, thank you for your time.
Just, I will not be able to attend, and I'm sorry, I'll make this quick, but just a little bit more leeway. I know we have to get these meetings in, but that's too close. I can't make it that day.
You know, I just wanna ask if we could send out special meetings if we know them in advance to the commissioners. Because a lot of them do have, you know, it's the summer, they have, you know, their plans, they're coming in late from a weekend, sometimes they have other things going on. There's graduations coming up, so forth and so on. So I just wanna please ask that you send out all of the meetings that we're having for that month in advance so that everybody can make their arrangements, okay?
I'll just let
I
you.
appreciate it.
I
Thank you so
will,
much.
we will do that. The other meetings besides Monday, June 6th is, regular meeting June 15th and a regular meeting on June 29th. And then we do not meet again till reorganization on Wednesday, July 20th.
Okay? Alright, everybody's got it, mark them down, okay? I appreciate everyone's time this evening, have a good time, what's left of it, have a good evening and all be safe, okay?
Good night,
I take care.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.